This is the outside of the 2021 Elddis Majestic 185. As we move along, we will firstly come to the flue for the boiler. You do not need to do anything with this, just make sure that nothing is obstructing it. Next we have the vents for the fridge. As this is a fully winterized motorhome, it's supplied with two winter covers. You'll see one there, and you'll see the other one that I've actually put on. What we do is we just attach it, and then with a flat-headed screwdriver just turn these to lock them into place. It will then allow the fridge to vent from the bottom on both of them, thus holding some heat in and making them run efficiently in cold climate. Obviously in the warmer weather these need to come off, or otherwise the fridge will just overheat. Next we have fresh water into the van. So to fill up the fresh water tank, just pop your hose in just here. You'll see that it can be locked. We have the water drains just here. So the blue one will drain down the fresh water tank, and the grey one will drain down the grey water. Above we have the battery locker, so the leisure battery just sits there, and then mains hookup just attaches here. Tucked down in this corner here is the flue for the space heater. Again, we don't need to do anything with it, just make sure that nothing is obstructing it. Cassette toilet just here, so just lift up on the yellow lever and pull towards you. Before use, remove the cap and add your toilet chemical. This is also where it empties from as well. Just make sure that when you're pouring it away that you hold the button in just here to release the vacuum inside. It's also advisable to keep this seal lubricated. Thetford do their own seal lubricant, but any silicone based lubricant is fine. By turning this is a nice quick and easy way of giving the cassette a good clean. If you do need to gain full access inside the cassette, you can remove this whole section. You'll see at the moment that it's in the locked position just here. Just twist this round so the arrow is pointing here, and this section will then remove. All of these are now on wheels with extendable handles. When dropping the cassette back in, just make sure that the handle drops into this point here. Beside it we have the external shower hose point. So to use this, we firstly need to make sure that we remove the dust cover. Just push the blue collar towards the motorhome, and it will then release itself. Then get your shower and plug it in. As long as the water pump is then turned on inside, this will then go under pressure, and we remove this exactly the same way as the dust cover itself. Again, just push the blue collar and it will then release. As we come round to the rear, we have the rear view camera just here, and then we have the Fiamma bike rack. So pull and drop down like so, undo and undo, and then pull this section round and then lock it into place. We then pop the bikes onto the rails and then secure the straps through the wheels, and then attach the arms around the actual bike frames themselves. As we come round, if we now just drop underneath, you'll see the spare wheel just there. So in the jack and wheel brace kit there is a bar that goes in where my finger is. You then attach the wheel brace to it to wind it down. Gas locker just here. There is plenty of room in this gas locker for 2 gas bottles. You'll see the regulator just here, and then the hose comes off the regulator and then screws into the propane bottle and is tightened with a gas spanner. Bottle on and off on the top. Do make sure that the bottle is isolated for travel. Barbecue point just beside it. So you will see at the moment that the actual adapter itself is still attached with a cable tie, so remove it and then attach the hose of the barbecue to this rib section just here and secure it with a Jubilee clip. This end here then plugs in where my finger is and will lock into place and allow you to turn the gas on. To remove it again, just push the collar up and it will then pop out. We then have diesel fill just here, unlocks on the ignition key, and then AdBlue just beneath that. It will let you know on the dashboard when it needs to be topped up. Tyre pressures on the door pillar just here. Both passenger and driver seats are heated just here. Jack and wheel brace underneath the passenger seat, and the vehicle battery sits underneath this section of the floor. Bonnet release is located just here. We then have the Dometic roll-out canopy. It rolls out just here. As you can now see, I've wound the canopy out a short distance. It's always best to wind it out a short distance and then drop the legs for stability. The legs themselves are sprung loaded, so if I now just push in here, you'll see that the leg will then come out. These particular ones slide across and then basically drop down once they're locked into place. Then slide this section up just here. The leg will then be able to move so you can get it to the height that you want, and then snap the black lever just down like so, and then drop this back over it to secure it. Do exactly the same again for the other leg. So push in, pull it out, it will lock into place,